All right, this is our homework practice 7-2, mixed practice, solve addition and subtraction problems. Again, this is pretty self-explanatory, but let's go ahead and read through it. A bar diagram can help you solve word problems. Bridget has 15 fewer crackers than Jessica. Bridget has 20 crackers. How many crackers does Jessica have? So we don't know how many crackers Jessica has. That's our mystery. But we do know that Bridget has 15 fewer crackers and Bridget has 20 crackers. So our total is going to be 20 plus 15 equals 35. So pretty easy on that one, just kind of a different strategy on how to put it all together there. Okay, Anne puts 37 photos in one book and 24 photos in another book. How many photos does she use in all? So we've got to take a look. We've got our numbers 37 and 24. We need to figure out if we're adding or subtracting. In all lets us know that we're putting them all together. So that's going to be adding. So 37 plus 24. I'm just going to have the students stack them up. 37 plus 24. 7 plus 4 is 11. Put down the 1. Regroup. 3 plus 2 is 5, plus 1 more is 6. Gives us a total of 61 photos. Now, Jorge's puzzle has 20 fewer pieces than Rosie's puzzle. Jorge's puzzle has 80 pieces. How many pieces does Rosie's puzzle have? On this one here, let's go ahead and do it like we did up at the top with the bar diagram. So we need to know how many pieces Rosie's puzzle has. We know Jorge's puzzle has 80 pieces, or 20 fewer pieces than Rosie's. And then Jorge's puzzle has 80 pieces. We've got 80 and 20 are two things that we need to work with. So we're actually going to add these together. 80 plus 20 equals 100. It's a total of 100 pieces right there. Okay, we're going to head on to our next side on the back. Okay, now this is solve each problem any way you choose. Use drawings and equations to help. The important part is to show your work. We want to see the thinking process and how the students got there. So Lucy makes 37 get well cards and some thank you cards. How many does she make? Some. We don't know. She makes 60 cards in all. How many thank you cards does Lucy make? So there's a couple different ways the students can go through and figure it out. I'm going to have them write it out like an equation. 37 plus some, so our mystery number, equals 60. So when they take a look at that, there's a couple different ways they can solve it. They can count up. They can start with a number line at 37, and they can count up to 60. So if they want to go 37, 47, 57, so that's plus 10, 57, 58, 59, 60, plus 3 is 23. They can also do kind of, they would subtract this over here. So 37, 60 minus 7, we have to regroup. So 10 minus 7 becomes 3, and 5 minus 3 is 2. So whatever way the students want to do it is great. They've learned all these different methods. Okay, for number 4, I'm going to use a separate piece of paper because it's kind of that crazy. This is like stuff that I did in high school. So I'm going to take this off for a minute and put up a new fresh piece of paper here to go through and do one. There will not be a problem like this on the test. This is just a super difficult higher order thinking question. Okay, so Jeff finds some bugs. How many bugs? We don't know. Okay, he finds 10 fewer grasshoppers than crickets. What I'm going to do first of all, before I even read the problem, I'm going to let you know he needs to find crickets, grasshoppers, and ladybugs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write grasshoppers here, crickets here, and ladybugs here. Okay? So it first says he finds 10 fewer grasshoppers than crickets. So what I'm going to do is grasshoppers will be G, crickets will be C, ladybugs will be L. He finds 10 fewer, so 10 fewer is minus 10, 10 fewer grasshoppers than crickets. Okay? So however many crickets there are, minus 10 of those will be how many grasshoppers he has. Okay? Our next one says he finds 5 fewer crickets than ladybugs. So, however many ladybugs he finds, he will find 5 fewer crickets, and that will be the total number. And then we don't know how many ladybugs he's found. So we've got a lot of things dependent on solving other parts of the problem. Okay, if Jeff finds 5 grasshoppers, okay, so C minus 10 equals 5. So we know we found 5 grasshoppers, but we need to figure out what C is over here. So something minus 10 equals 5. We can add these two together. 10 plus 5 is 15. So it would look like this in a bar diagram. Okay, so we know there's 10, we know there's 5. 10 plus 5 is 15. Okay, that is how many crickets he has. So we know he has 5 grasshoppers and he has 15 crickets. So if ladybugs minus 5 equals 15 crickets, we have to figure out what that L is. So what we can do is we can do our total amount is a question mark, and our two parts are 5 and 15. So we know that 5 plus 15 equals 20, correct? So we know that he has 20 ladybugs. So that was kind of a big, crazy problem, but there's how to do it. Again, I wasn't doing this till I was in high school, but it's just a way for the students to kind of draw it out, use some of the bar diagrams, and help solve the problems. So hopefully that's helpful there on number 4 for the higher order thinking. Again, pause the video if you need time to write it down or just try to understand it. I know it's a lot. Okay, let's go back to number 5, our Common Core assessment question. Get another piece of tape here. Okay. Our Common Core assessment question 4 right here. Okay. Sandy has 17 fewer hockey cards than Al. Al has 55 hockey cards. So we already know down here, this is, our total amount, right, is 55. How many hockey cards does Sandy have? So we're trying to figure out how many Sandy has. And then we're going to draw arrows to figure out what equations or what numbers go where to make the equation true. So we know our total number is going to be 55. So we can just drop that straight down, 55. And we need to figure out, Sandy has 17 fewer hockey cards than Al. And we don't know how many Sandy has. Okay, this is our Sandy here. But we know if Sandy has 17 fewer hockey cards than Al, I'm trying to figure out the best way to explain it. We know that something plus 17 equals 55. So we can try to do a bar diagram, or what I would even suggest doing is over here, do 55 minus 17. So 5 minus 7 won't work. 15 minus 7 is 8. 4 minus 1 is 3, is 38. Another strategy that the students could use if they'd like to is something plus 17 equals 55. So they could count backwards from 55. So they could start at 55 on a number line and count backwards to backwards 17, and they would get 38 as well. And again, if they have other strategies for doing it, it's great too. This is a great opportunity for them to problem solve and try to solve it different ways.